Yankees. This rivalry has been as good as there is in the National Football League, and it's America's game of the week. And here in October, well, there's no place we'd rather be than right here in Arlington, Texas, for the Packers and the Cowboys. I'm Joe Buck. That's a guy that was in that little montage a moment ago, the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. And we'll start with Dallas and talk about the offense. I mean, they're 2-2. They're in decent position, but the offense just doesn't look as good as it did a year ago.
Yeah, it hasn't been as good. The offensive line, they haven't been as good, and quite honestly, Ezekiel Elliott hasn't run the football as well as he did in his rookie campaign. Dak Prescott has had to absorb a lot of the work. He's taken a lot of hits, and so they've got to get that running game going. And you look at the Green Bay Packers defensively, they have not done a good job of stopping the run. Last year in the two meetings, the regular season and the postseason game, the Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott ran for a 140-yard average in both of those games. Today would be a good start to get back to doing the things they did so well a year ago.
Well, you talk about the Packers, really both teams are banged up. But for Green Bay, they have a lot of injuries. They've had 10 days off, Aaron Andrews, and they're getting some guys back here today.
Yeah, let's see who's back for the Pack today, Joe. Wide receiver Davante Adams returns after that vicious hit against Chicago. The line will get tackle Brian Bulaga, and the defense happy to see Mike Daniels, who's been out since week 2. But Joe, this offense today is without starting running back Ty Montgomery and tackle David Bakhtiari. Aaron Rodgers telling us yesterday, we are simply a shell of ourselves because these injuries have just piled up.
Yeah, they have yet, Aaron, to have their top tackle tandem start a game together. That's Bulaga and Bakhtiari. Bulaga's back. As you said, Bakhtiari is not. They've had changes across that offensive line since the season began. Meanwhile, Green Bay won the toss. They defer. The Cowboys start this game with a football, and that means Ryan Switzer, the rookie, back waiting for this kick from Mason Crosby. Glad you're with us today. America's game of the week. Off we go. Out to the 25. That's where Mr. Prescott, Mr. Elliott, and this offensive line will set up. Tyron Smith was talked about during the week. He's dealing with a bulging disc in his back. He is out there to make the start, and that's typical of Tyron. He's missed only 4 games now, as he's playing in his 7th year, but he's diminished a little because that back has flared up the last couple of weeks. Here's Elliott out of the backfield, and a nice play made. That's the rookie, Kevin King. He read that, and a loss of 4 to start the day.
Boy, they sure did. They thought they were going to get linemen out and have a nice, easy swing pass to start this game to Ezekiel Elliott, but the rookie, Kevin King, who's known as a big hitter, comes up and sets the tone on the first snap.
Second-round pick from Washington. He should have his hands full today with Des Bryant. And they're across from one another at the bottom of your screen.
Kill!
Elliott, little cutback, that doesn't work as Blake Martinez knifed through. No gain, and we look at this defense, which is much improved from a year ago, especially in pass defense. As you look at the names, they've had some shuffling, Troy, in that secondary, and they like to use the 3 safety package. We'll see if that is used and if it holds up against the ground game of the Cowboys.
They'll use the 3 safety package. Sometimes they'll even bring in a 4th safety, and some of the packages like that have been what has contributed to the improved pass defense.
Prescott down the middle. Butler makes a move. And another. Bryce Butler out of bounds at the 29. And that's all Prescott.
They bring pressure off the edge. You're going to see the inside, and they get up on Dak Prescott. And as we saw so many times last week, with him having to avoid the pass rush and keeping his eyes down the field, and he finds Bryce Butler, who seems to be his go-to guy whenever he's in trouble. A number of big plays here in recent weeks to Butler.
49 yards on 3rd and long.
180!
nice play. That's Mike Daniels. He is their best run defender, and Mike Daniels, who's been bothered by a hip injury, has missed the last couple of games. He was hurt week 2 at Atlanta, and he has not played since then.
Well, this defense has done pretty good in his absence, but it's good to have him back for the Green Bay Packers. Not only is he their best run stopper interior-wise, he's also their best pass rusher from that position. See how healthy he is today.
2nd and 6. Elliott hesitates. Clinton Dix. There's a little bit of the old Ezekiel Elliott. 2 yards short of a first down after running into bodies, a gain of 4. Jason Garrett in his 7th year, a record of 61-50 as the head coach. 60-48. If you add in what he did when he took over for Wade Phillips midway through 2010. Now 3rd and 2.
Splitting Ezekiel Elliott out wide. Now they're motioning back into the backfield.
Elliott doesn't get it. Well played by this Green Bay defense, a yard short, and we'll see what Jason Garrett wants to do. Crowd wants them to go for it, and they will.
Well, they've been good on 3rd and 4th and 1 all season long. They're 5 for 5 on 3rd and 1 and 2 for 2 on 4th and 1. So until somebody can stop them, I like the decision here in the early going by Jason Garrett.
Elliott has got it. You know, Troy, when you're in a game with Aaron Rodgers on the other sideline and you've got opportunities down in the opponent's territory, 4th and 1, you've got Elliott, the offensive line. Why not? You're going to need points in this game.
Well, you know, just based on the history of these two franchises when they have met. Yes, when Aaron Rodgers, regardless of who's on the field with him and who's healthy, you got to believe that the Packers offensively are going to score some points. And for that offensive line, even though they have struggled, big 4th down conversion.
We see a lot of Elliott on this opening possession, and a nice play made by Clay Matthews. A loss of 4 as Elliott had on that swing pass to start the day offensively.
Well, they moved Tyron Smith from left tackle over here to the tight end position, go heavy to the strong side, to that right side of the offensive line. But Clay Matthews, what an outstanding job he does, taking on the all-pro tackle and getting off of him and making a tackle in the backfield.
That's 5 straight Ezekiel Elliott runs and 7 touches on this drive. He's out. Alfred Morris is in. Prescott protected, slings it. Witten right at the marker. And Witten, who has only 2 catches over the previous 2 games, has got enough for a first down.
Yeah, he hasn't been too involved in this Cowboys offensive passing game, but they're in a zone coverage, the Green Bay Packers, and they just allow him to come off the ball and find the hole within that zone. And pretty easy catch for Jason Witten.
10th play of the opening drive.
They're one-on-one down here with Dez Bryant. He's awfully good in these situations.
Prescott keeps, stays up, and avoids a sack. Blake Martinez was in with initial pressure, but he wasn't alone, and Prescott able to avoid a loss of yardage. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, Dak's 240 pounds. You're going to see Blake Martinez, who comes up the middle, and I mean, he's got a clean shot. And 2 guys just cannot get him to the ground. Ahmad Brooks, those are linebackers, and Dak's every bit as big as they are, and he's a hard guy to get to the ground.
Cowboys don't have an opening drive touchdown this season. Elliott to the 5, 3rd and goal. Blake Martinez again. Obviously, Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, have come into this game and said we have got to get Ezekiel Elliott started.
Well, they're feeding him the ball here on this opening possession. The Packers defensively have been good through 4 weeks on 3rd down. They've been excellent or they've not been good down here in the red zone. We'll see what prevails.
Prescott, protected pass, end zone incomplete. Des Bryant and a flag at the end of the play.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, illegal hit on a defenseless player. Half minutes to the goal, number 50. Automatic first.
I didn't see much there, Joe. First of all, Des Bryant, he runs a good route. He's got to catch this ball. It was a perfectly thrown pass, and I don't know what exactly they're calling. It didn't even look like there was contact made as Des Bryant is going to the ground, and there's an arm. I think that's a terrible call.
I mean, that's a killer call. I mean, yeah, the arm goes into the helmet. It sets up 1st and goal. It gives the Cowboys another chance at it. We'll hear from Mike Pereira in a second. Low snap, Prescott, Beasley, touchdown Dallas. Martinez comes back to the sideline like, what did I do? Beasley's got his first touchdown of the year after that call on the hit by Martinez on Bryant.
They cut down the split. They go with a quick out to Cole Beasley, and Devon House just has no chance. There's no way to stop this play. You roll out Dak Prescott, and as long as the ball's in the right spot, advantage Cowboys, and it's touchdown Cole Beasley.
Cowboys converted on a 4th down on the drive and then had the drive extended. Mike Pereira, because of that call on Blake Martinez, who can't believe the call on that hit on Des Bryant. What did you see?
Well, you know, he is a defenseless player, and he gets the arm. Martinez hits him with the arm in the helmet, but there's no forcible contact here. This is an attempt to make a play. I certainly can understand why Martinez comes off the field wondering what the heck he did, because if you have contact to the head or neck area with the shoulder, forearm, or helmet, it must be forcible. And to me, no way was that forcible.
I mean, Martinez is coming in there. He doesn't know Bryant's not going to make that catch. He's trying to avoid a touchdown. Bryant just flat out dropped it. And then Martinez just grazes him in the helmet, and that draws the flag, and it leads to 7 points.
Well, you could almost argue that Blake Martinez was trying to avoid contact. I mean, had he have really wanted to tee him up, he certainly could have done that. And that's you know, clearly a costly penalty. Instead of having to settle for a Dan Bailey field goal and 3 points, the Cowboys come away with 7 on their opening drive.
Janis is waiting for the kick. Packers have 0 kick return yards this season. And that will continue. The touchdown was set up not just by the penalty in that call, but by this from Dak Prescott on 3rd and long to Bryce Butler.
Well, these plays here, Joe, like that one there to Bryce Butler, you think back to last week's game in the first half against the Los Angeles Rams, a lot of what Dak Prescott did in creating big plays was just like that, and he does it again here to start this ball game.
We welcome in a new audience. That's us. Mike Pereira with us, Joe, Troy, Aaron. 7-0 Dallas as they put together a 13-play drive that included a 4th down conversion and a bad call that allowed Dallas a second chance at a touchdown, and they capitalized. First play, pass is caught, and man, is it good to see Davante Adams out there after that awful hit by Danny Trevathan 2 Thursdays ago against the Chicago Bears. It's been musical chairs up front on the offensive line for the Green Bay Packers, and yet somehow they're off to a 3-1 start.
Yeah, that's what's remarkable. I mean, it really is that they have gone through 4 offensive tackles, their top 4 offensive tackles, and yet here they are 3-1. And you can credit number 12 for most of that.
Handoff is to the rookie Aaron Jones. He had a big preseason, a 5th-round pick from UTEP. He averaged 5.5 yards a carry. Troy, when we talked to Rodgers before the first game, he said, I really like Aaron Jones. Well, because of injuries, Jones is getting a chance, and he was good against Chicago.
Well, it sure was. And you think about this Cowboys defense, last week, there was a lot of runs where Todd Gurley with the Los Angeles Rams was not being touched until 7-8 yards down the field. You saw what Aaron Jones was able to do on the outside. Nobody there in containment to make a play.
On first down, that's Cobb. And on the rookie, Jordan Lewis. He picks up 5. Let's go to Carissa Thompson with a game break.
Thanks, Joe. Fourth quarter, under a minute to play, down 5. Eli throws an interception here, and that's how it would end. But the bigger story, you guys, is Odell Beckham Jr. went out with what looks like a serious ankle injury. He was carted off in a ton of pain. Giants snap, now 0-5. Joe, Troy, and Aaron.
All right, Carissa. A team that a lot of people picked to win the NFC East. Winless. 2nd and 5. Here's Jones again. He looks good. Heath on the stop, but a first down carry after Jones went around Byron Jones in a run of 8. Let's look at this defense, which, as Troy said, as they get David Irving back to rush the passer. This defense in their 2 losses has given up a ton of rushing yards. First to Denver and then most recently to the Rams.
Well, they're giving up yards here on this drive. I did not anticipate the Packers coming into this game and having much success on the ground, but they've looked good here.
Here's Cobb, who started in motion, and Randall Cobb gets hit along the sideline. No flag as Anthony Hitchens, playing in his first game of the season, hits him, and like he was still in bounds, but it was close.
I'm sure after that penalty on Blake Martinez, Mike McCarthy's probably got some words for the official. That was right on their sideline.
There's no doubt. Talk about success. That's Mike McCarthy, 12th year. He's been in the postseason 9 of his first 11. He's hot. 2nd and 4. Play action from Rodgers. Well protected. Wide open inside the 15. Lance Kendricks.
You can see the play action in the backfield, and that gets linebackers to pull up. They got that running game going. Great protection in the pocket for Aaron Rodgers. You see the linebackers, Jalen Smith, who struggled last week in pass coverage. They turn him loose, and that's an easy completion for Aaron Rodgers.
For 24 yards to the 12.
11.
Ripkowski gets it to the 11, Powers to the 10. Aaron Rodgers, 102 wins as a starter in his career, combining the regular season and the postseason. That is 1 shy of Bart Starr for number 2 on the Packers all-time list. He's been slinging it a lot, the most pass attempts through the first 4 games, as he's in his 10th year as a starter.
Well, this Packers offense has been awfully good in the red zone. They're the #1 red zone offense in football. They score touchdowns when they get down here.
Rodgers, end zone. Adams, what a throw! Touchdown!
He gets them both down. He beats Anthony Brown. You're going to see he starts. It's a slant and go. They call it a sluggo route. He starts like he's going to the slant. No one runs more slants than these Green Bay Packers. And Anthony Brown bites, gives him the shot to the fade, and a perfectly thrown ball, and Davante Adams hauls it in.
Rodgers starts 5 for 5. The extra point is no good. First extra point miss of the year for Crosby. Touchdown pass number 11 on the year for Aaron Rodgers. Davante Adams, 7-6 game. Davante Adams is a terrific young man and a great talent. Had 12 touchdown catches last year, just under 1,000 yards, 75 catches. He's got his 3rd touchdown of this season. The Packers now have scored a touchdown on 4 of their 5 opening drives this season. from old shifty eyes. Aaron Rodgers to the right, to the left, back to the right, back to and up into the end zone. Davante Adams, part of the bobsled team for the Green Bay Packers. 7-6 game on America's Game of the Week. The Cowboys' first drive was just over 6.5 minutes off the clock. Their third longest possession of the season in terms of time. They were the kings of the 5+ minute drives last year because of the ground game. Here's Des Bryant. And these Cowboy fans are waiting for Des Bryant to look like Des Bryant. He gets 13.
He can release off the ball as he goes to the slant route, and that has been a connection that has had their share of problems. And for as many targets as Des Bryant has had, 40 targets on the season, just 16 receptions coming into this game. Now, not all of them are a result of him not catching the ball or not getting open. Some of them have been some errant throws, but that combination needs to be better.
Here's Elliott with a cutback. Takes it across the 40. Saturday, it's college football on FS1. First K-State hosts number 8 TCU at noon Eastern. And later, Big Ten matchup. Number 10 Ohio State faces Nebraska at 7:30 Eastern, all on FS1 and streaming live on FS Go. 2nd and 7. Kevin King checks out. He's been lined up across from Des Bryant.
We got Devon House in for him now, and then Josh Hawkins, who had to come in off the bench last week when Damarious Randall got sent to the locker room. He's on the field.
Prescott keeps. He's got Witten underneath. He goes to Bryant, and Des Bryant has got a first down inside Green Bay territory. And he may start saying, "Feed me." That one good for 15. Carissa Thompson with a game break.
Thanks, Joe. We head to Indy, set up by a 35-yard run from Marlon Mack. How about this? 44-year-old Adam Vinatieri hits a 51-yard field goal to win in OT. This is now the second straight week the Niners have lost in OT. Joe, Troy, and Aaron.
Adam Vinatieri, who's been kicking in the NFL since the Ice Bowl in 1967. From the 44, here's Elliott. Little hesitation, then he plows it inside the 40. Good for 6. Jake Ryan on the tackle. We will focus on Des Bryant at some point. We're talking about a receiver who between 2012 and 2014 was good for 90 catches a year, 1,300 yards a year, 14 touchdowns a year. That's no longer the case the last two. He's had a lot of one-on-one coverage. Prescott just had to get rid of it.
This is some more pressure inside as Blake Martinez. You got Kevin Smith, Keith Smith, who is being asked to block him, just does not do a very good job. And Dak Prescott, they go play action. They want to take a shot down the field. The Packers protect it pretty good. Jason Garrett has been concerned how much Dak Prescott has been hit coming into this game.
Prescott. Pass is caught, first down, but a flag down as Witten makes the grab inside the 30. And Des Bryant comes away saying it's against the Green Bay secondary. We'll see if that's the case.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 31. Penalties decline. First down.
Do you get the feeling Des Bryant is going to have a big day today?
Well, I think he feels that he has something to prove. Yeah, he's been questioned all week long for a lack of production, and questions have come into the equation as far as is he or is he not an elite receiver. And clearly he's a guy out here right now who's wanting the football, and Dak Prescott's trying to get it to him.
Prescott is going to run, and he's got Clay Matthews on his back. Down to about the 26, a gain of 3.
Well, that didn't look particularly good with Dak Prescott going down and kind of got balled up a little bit like what happened, whether it be to Derek Carr or even Tony Romo when he last got hurt. But that's a tough position to be in as Clay Matthews comes in and squeezes him, and Dak Prescott fortunate to get up from that one.
He's already been hit 5 times in this game. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Elliott nowhere to go. And just able to stretch for about 1.5 yards. Jake Ryan on the tackle. And if the Cowboys want, they can play their 3rd and 6 down on the other end of the field.
Well, both these offenses now doing a good job. Of course, the big play by Dak Prescott to Bryce Butler on that first possession. But the Packers go down and score, miss the extra point. Here they come right back down the field on their second possession and doing some good things.
It's got the makings of a fun day, doesn't it? 7-6 after 1. Back after this from your local Fox station. The Cowboys are doing a good job keeping the ball away from Aaron Rodgers. Over 10.5 minutes time of possession. Ezekiel Elliott 21 rush yards but 10 carries. It ties his most ever for the first quarter. It's a 3rd and 6. Prescott, Perry. Prescott keeps it going and finds a man for the first down. Rod Smith. Dak Prescott is doing a Tony Romo impersonation.
This is all number 4 here. There's good coverage down the field. Initially, he's trying to go to the slot to Dez Bryant, but he's not open, and he keeps the play alive, and they do an excellent job of converting on 3rd down because of the legs of Dak Prescott.
That's the 6th different receiver Prescott's found. 18 yards and the first catch of the year for Rod Smith. Elliott trying to cut back. Nice play by Ahmad Brooks, crashing down on that to the 5.
I know in talking with Mike McCarthy, he was saying that we want Dak Prescott to have to beat us from within the pocket and get to his 2nd and 3rd reads within the progression, and coverage hasn't been all that bad, but they haven't been able to get Dak to the ground when they've gotten a free rusher and have had opportunities on him, and him keeping plays alive. A couple big plays now have resulted.
Dez Bryant, top of the screen. Here's Beasley. That's his 2nd. Touchdown, Dallas.
Cole Beasley right here in the slot, and that's about as easy as it gets. There's nobody within 5 yards of Dak Prescott, and you see the release. I mean, it's uncontested right to the post down there in the red zone. It doesn't get any easier than that.
Working against Quentin Rollins, 2nd round pick, 2015. Damarious Randall, a 1st round pick from 2015. That has not been going well. 2nd of the day for Cole Beasley. His first 2 of the year. 14-6 Dallas. Dallas has put together a 13-play drive and an 11-play drive. Beasley has had the touchdown catch at the end of those drives. And it's a 14-6 game. Cole Beasley, his 5th career multiple touchdown game, and he had one last October up in Green Bay as Bailey almost put it through the uprights. EA, what's going on with the injury front for Green Bay?
Well, once again, it's a storyline for the Packers. The rookie cornerback Kevin King being evaluated for a concussion. Remember, this was the guy all week long that said he couldn't wait to face Dez Bryant, Joe.
Well, that's bad news for Green Bay. We'll get into the secondary more as we go, but they spent the first couple of picks on corners 2 seasons ago and then basically did it again after getting shredded by Atlanta in the NFC Championship game. Kevin King a part of that. Well, let's see if Aaron Rodgers can answer again, and not here. Down he goes at the 15 in the arms of Tyrone Crawford.
Talked about David Bakhtiari having missed the last 3 games, and Tyrone Crawford just has really an easy shot at Aaron Rodgers. Bakhtiari just really doesn't even come out of his stance. It was a hamstring that kept him Bakhtiari there, and Lane Taylor actually the one out there at left tackle who just gives Tyrone Crawford a straight shot, a guy who's playing out of position from left guard there to left tackle, and he made it awfully easy on Crawford.
They gave Rodgers enough forward progress to the 17. That's for Adams, incomplete. And after the incompletion, it'll be 3rd and 18. You look at the offensive line and the way it's shuffled. They have not had their starting tackle tandem together in the same game yet. Because week 3, that's the previous game Bulaga was in, but Bakhtiari was out. Now they have McCray out at right tackle, and Lane Taylor, who played high school-wise here in Arlington and Martin High School, switching out from left guard. And there you see Justin McCray next to him.
It's not an easy transition when you go from playing inside to then having to play on the outside against some of these speed rushers.
Another sack for Dallas. David Irving, welcome back. His first game back after a 4-game suspension for PEDs. 2 sacks on the possession for the Cowboys.
Well, he's straight in the middle. Corey Lindsley's he's the center, and Jari Evans, it looked like Lindsley was expecting a little more help from Evans, which he should have been able to get to protect the inside. And David Irving, who had a huge game last October at Lambeau Field, his first game back, makes a big play.
Vogel, flag is thrown, and the fair catch by Switzer on the Green Bay side of the 50.
During the kick, holding receiving team number 87. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
They get Jeff Swaim. So that takes away some of the great field position the Cowboys had. They have the ball, leading by 8. 8th year the Dallas Cowboys have called this beautiful stadium, AT&T Stadium, their home. Known for its artwork in the concourses, calling that one Popcorn on Thanksgiving, or the Turducken. Here's Alfred Morris over the right side, giving Ezekiel Elliott a break. Elliott really hasn't broken out, but they have the edge in time of possession at over 6 minutes because the ground game has been used a lot. Elliott 11 carries, only 23 yards to start this game.
Well, that's a good start for this Cowboys offense with Alfred Morris. This has been a running game that has struggled running the ball successfully on first down. Last year's almost automatic to get 4 yards. It's been a struggle this year.
Here's one for the tight end Hannah down the sideline. That wasn't there from the get-go. Meanwhile, Ahmad Brooks just limped out a moment ago. They've already lost Kevin King, as we showed you. So the ranks are getting thinner for Green Bay as this first half unfolds.
It's pretty incredible how many injuries over the years that the Packers have had to, sustain and get through. And this year has started off, as we know, really difficult for them. And here we are again today with more key guys going down. Big third down here. You make a stop, you keep the Cowboys from putting more points on the board.
Blitz. Prescott steps through, wide open through the middle of the field, and a slide near the 30. 21-yard carry.
You can see the middle of the field, and what happens? You got Clay Matthews there in the middle. He rushes, and then everyone has their backs to the quarterback. They're in man coverage. And once Dak Prescott recognizes that and it opens up in the middle, he takes it, and nobody accounting for him.
Season-long 21-yard rush for Dak Prescott. In fact, that's the longest in his very young NFL career. He's averaging about 7.5 yards a carry coming in. Elliott, a spin. Clark on the stop. A gain of 3. Watch live, local, and primetime games with NFL Mobile. This has been a start for the Dallas Cowboys offense that they've been waiting for. Not a bad start last week against the Rams. They blew an 11-point lead against the Rams and walked out of this stadium 2-2. They lead by 8 here.
Yeah, a lot of their problems this year have come in the second half, but this is a Packers team that really is just not built to come from behind with the problems that they have along that offensive line.
Prescott over the middle, and a catch made by Keith Smith. So Keith Smith has one, Rod Smith has one. Their first 2 catches of the year. It'll be 3rd down and less than a yard.
Well, the Cowboys going with more of their bigger personnel in trying to run the football, and then off of that they go play action and try to take their shots. And we saw Alfred Morris on 1st down. Ezekiel Elliott really has not yet gotten going, but some of the play action stuff hasn't been too bad off of it.
It's a full yard to get, and it flip to Elliott, and it depends on where they put it down, and there was nothing there. It looks like they're going to mark him inches short. He needed to get to the 21. It's going to be 4th down, and they've already gone for it once.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to do it again.
Yeah, they have yet to be stopped. As I said earlier, on 3rd or 4th and 1 this year, and until somebody can do it, why not keep going for it? And
the crowd sees the replay on this massive board, and they're calling for Garrett to challenge the spot. Prescott takes it and gets it. So 2 4th down conversions in this first half for the Dallas Cowboys.
A couple 4th down conversions. The big play by Prescott on the opening drive that kept the drive alive on a 3rd down conversion. The penalty on Blake Martinez. But this defense has they've not been able to get off the field. And coming into the game, the defense, I felt, looked to be improved from where they were a year ago. But who had they played? Atlanta was really the only offense you'd say would really threaten anybody. And they were going to get tested today, but they have not been able to make a stop.
Late handoff to Elliott. Pretty nice tackle by Morgan Burnett. A gain of 4. Here is Kurt Menefee with an Odell Beckham game break.
Yeah, the day went from bad to worse for the Giants. Beckham on that play broke his fibula. It will require surgery. He's done maybe for the year. In addition to losing him, Dwayne Harris fractured his foot, and Sterling Shepard and Brandon Marshall both left with injured ankles. Giants also lost the game 27-22. They're now 0-5. Joe, Troy, and Eric.
Hard to believe. Philadelphia won, took apart Arizona. They're on top in the East at 4-1, and they've looked good. Play action. Prescott rolling. Drops it off to Whitman to the 10. And it's a 1st down. Morgan Burnett on the tackle. They'll set up 1st and goal.
Pretty methodical in what they're doing. It looked like he might have had a shot to the corner, but he comes underneath to Whitman. And as you said earlier, Joe, someone who really just has not been too involved in the passing game here over the last couple of weeks, now has a couple of receptions. And best thing about what the Cowboys have done, along with moving the ball and coming away with points, is keeping this Green Bay offense on the sidelines.
Packers red zone defense. They've seen 11 opponent possessions. 9 touchdowns. Now another. Des Bryant. Troy, decent coverage, perfect throw.
And this is one, normally what you'll see from Prescott is he'll get the ball up and let Bryant go up and make a play on the ball. This time it was just meet it at the pylon and go get it. And he's able to get past Damarious Randall for the touchdown.
Randall, who gave up a late first half touchdown against the Bears, then was benched, then complained, then was sent to the dressing room before the end of the game last game against Chicago. Gets beaten by Des Bryant. There's a flag down on the extra point. And it's against Green Bay.
Illegal formation. Defense number 97, 5-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Timeout.
Must have been over the center. Ladouceur. Dez. Sherry. 21-6. Well, this is what made Dallas so good last year when they went 13-3. They led the NFL with 35 drives of 5 or more minutes. They came in with only 4 through 4 games this season. They've got 3 and 3 possessions against Green Bay. A little pop-up kick. And Janis going to take a knee. Aaron Rodgers will be out there when we come back. Mike McCarthy has gone from normal coloring to Wisenhunt red to Coughlin, full Coughlin red. 21-6 Dallas. Boy, this defense for Green Bay, they've been put through the ringer this season. This game now, Mike Daniels getting the knots worked out over on the sideline. Cowboys with a 12-minute time of possession advantage. 21-6 game, but Aaron Rodgers. Where's the green and yellow? Handoff to Aaron Jones, brought down by Awuzie. Gain of 1. Start your Sundays with the best morning pregame show on television, Fox NFL Kickoff. Get you set with all the latest breaking NFL news and updates you need to start your football Sunday. Fox NFL Kickoff Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Led by Carissa Thompson. And pleased to welcome Michael Vick to the team. 2nd and 9 here for Green Bay.
Well, they split Martellus Bennett out down here. I know Aaron Rodgers really likes him when they detach him from the line of scrimmage and when he's one-on-one, this time against Byron Jones.
Ready, go.
4-man rush. Rodgers flushed out, just throws it away. Mayowa ends up the closest one to him, and Martellus Bennett, the former Cowboy, ended up as the closest Packer to the throw.
You can see Aaron Rodgers, he is not happy at all, and there's a lot of pressure on him right now. They've shown that they cannot stop Dallas defensively, and when they've had to adjust what they're doing offensively because of the offensive line situation and the young players at the running back spot, they're not doing the hurry-up offense. They're not running as many check-with-me's at the line of scrimmage. He's very limited in what he's able to do, and you can see the frustration starting to mount.
3rd down and 9. Rodgers has to step up. Pass caught. Cobb, first down. Nice work by Aaron Rodgers on 3rd down and 9. Devine Cobb for 13.
Yeah, and this is why last week against the Bears, they got to get the ball out quick. You see that there's pressure on Rodgers, but what a job Randall Cobb does from the slot. He's starting to cross. He sees that his quarterback's in trouble. He comes back. He's able to create separation from Orlando Scandrick, and Rodgers finds him for a big first down.
Hold on.
Jordy Nelson has not been targeted yet. Tight formation here.
Hey, 5-2. Triple. Green 18. Green 18.
Hand off to Jones, running right. Damian Wilson. Gain of 2.
We saw Aaron Jones when he came in, and in his first couple of runs, there were some nice things there, and now things are getting a little bit tighter. This is an offense for the Packers that through 4 games had not averaged 4 yards a carry in a ball game, and so not being able to rely on any type of running game to help take some of the pressure off of you, and then not being able to hold the ball in the pocket longer than you'd like. The Cowboys are challenging these wide receivers. There's chances for shots down the field. You just got to protect them.
2nd and 8. Nice throw to Rodgers. Aaron to Richard. And for Richard Rodgers, that's just his 3rd catch, 16-yarder.
And Richard Rodgers is a guy that Aaron Rodgers would like to see on the field more. You know, they've been together for a little while, 4 years now, and he really likes this guy. He's got the best hands of the tight ends. He's the slowest of the 3, but that's not to imply that he can't run, because he can. But there's a lot of trust and a lot of confidence that Aaron Rodgers has in him.
Jones left side. Scandrick made the stop. Nice job by Orlando Scandrick. to come up and make the tackle. Had a fractured left hand early in the year. He's back, no gain.
Yeah, Orlando Scandrick, he's one of those scrappy guys that has really carved out a little niche for him. He's good in the slot as a nickel defender, and he'll certainly get in there and help in run support. And if you're going to play corner for Rod Marinelli, you better be able to tackle.
Quick throw, Adams, who has a touchdown in the game, takes it inside the 40. Jordan Lewis, the rookie that the Cowboys brass loves, made the stop. A gain of 5, and the Packers hurry it up. Timeout was taken by Jason Garrett because Aaron Rodgers were going to catch Dallas with too many men on the field. Timeout, Dallas. Take a break. When we come back, 3rd down and 5 for Green Bay. Look at that graphic at the top. Packers have drawn 25 12-men on defense calls since 2014. Next closest, Tom Brady in New England, 12. Rodgers almost caught Dallas. Head coach Jason Garrett saw it and called timeout, 3rd and 5. Rodgers just got rid of it. Pass caught, 1st down, and Rodgers got blasted. Davante Adams for 7, but Rodgers took a hit at the end of that.
He sure did. He had to have felt it and know that he had to get the ball out quickly, and here it comes, and you see him speed up, and Byron Jones comes off the edge, gets the ball out to Davante Adams, and a big conversion there.
Like whiplash. As Byron Jones came in from the secondary. 2 minutes left in the half. 1st down, Green Bay, when we come back. Quarterbacks really couldn't be performing any better. The difference is Prescott, more possessions, more time on the field. The quarterback ratings, Dak at 146, Aaron Rodgers 132.2. 15-point game. 2 minutes left, opening half. Rodgers, down he goes. 3rd time. David Irving was in there, and he's got his 2nd. And Troy, Dallas now has that 2-pronged pass rush with Irving coming back.
Yeah, they got David Irving, who is the guy who comes in, but it's DeMarcus Lawrence off the edge, who then makes Rodgers have to step up in the pocket. And then David Irving's able to clean it up.
Green Bay will get the 2nd half kickoff. Love a touchdown here. Heading in at the half. Pass caught by Cobb. Dragged to the ground, but a flag. Hitchens got some face mask. And that will carry with it an automatic 1st down if it's the personal foul.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Defense number 59. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
So that wipes away the sack from Irving as Hitchens, who missed the first 4 games after a knee fracture and surgery, is back.
That was going to be 3rd and long, and a big penalty to give the Packers a new set of downs and keep this drive going. Cowboys played soft coverage. They give up the completion underneath, come up and rally and make a tackle. Everything went good, but Hitchens goes to the face mask. That's a big penalty.
Talked about the Irving sack and the yardage that Green Bay lost. They get it back because of that face mask, and a toss to Jones running left. Minimal gain, but he goes out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:06 remaining in the half. Hitchens out there on the stop.
I was talking earlier, Joe, there's been so much of a focus on the offensive line and all the different combinations each week and trying to get guys ready to play and how that's affected this offense. But the young running back, when you're without Ty Montgomery and now you have Aaron Jones, it limits what Aaron Rodgers is able to do. And he wants to make checks at the line of scrimmage. But you see Ty Montgomery, these guys, they don't know all the calls the way Ty Montgomery does.
Montgomery out with fractured ribs. He suffered against Chicago. Rodgers spins out, nobody better at that, and then throws a dart to the sideline, caught by Jones. What a catch.
That was a great catch. That'd have been a great catch if it was Jordy Nelson. The young rookie, he goes down for this one, and it looks like he's got his arms underneath it, secures it. That's a great catch.
They're going to look at it upstairs. Nothing we saw in that replay said that it was trapped. And Mike Pereira, the catch looks good. It looked like he was in bounds to me. What'd you think?
I think he's down on the ground in bounds. He gets control of the ball. He's going to have his forearms down. Ball never gets to the ground. So ruled a catch in the field. I got to believe this stays a catch in the field.
It'll set up 1st and goal. What a catch.
Yeah, what a catch. His first catch. His first catch of his NFL career, and it comes at a good time.
I said it early. Aaron Rodgers told us before the season opener at home against Seattle how much he liked Aaron Jones. You can see why.
I know visiting with Mike McCarthy last night, he really likes him. Yeah, not real flashy, but he's steady and he times things up pretty well.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. There's a catch and a 1st down, Green Bay.
Times his running game up pretty good with the guys up there blocking in front of him, and that's not always easy to do for a young runner. Sometimes they're too fast to the hole, sometimes they're not fast enough, but he's shown some good things, at least in that last game against the Bears when he got all his work prior to this game this afternoon.
The Green Bay Packers are the best red zone offense in the NFL. They're 1 for 1 in there today, and Rodgers is going to spend his first time out. And with that, we'll be back in 30 seconds after this message from Outback and Lowe's.
Know what goes great with steak and shrimp? More shrimp. And you know what goes great with that shrimp? You guessed it, more shrimp. Steak and unlimited shrimp starting at $15.99. Only at Outback.
The moment you realize you have enough food for your guests, but not enough fridge.
At Lowe's, we have more appliances to choose from, so you can get the right one at the right price right now.
Hurry into Lowe's and get up to 30% off select appliance special values.
15-point game, under a minute to go. Each side with 2 timeouts, 1st and goal, Green Bay. Jones. Touchdown, Packers. There were fantasy football owners scrambling to get Aaron Jones after last week, knowing he was the healthy guy, and they're rewarded with a 7-yard touchdown.
Watch Brian Bulaga, the right tackle, how he combos up and blocks Jalen Smith just enough, and then Jeff Heath trying to come over and make a tackle before Aaron Jones crosses the goal line, but a nice hole by that Packers offensive front.
And it's another miss. That was on either the holder or the long snapper, Tabor Pepper, who's playing in his 2nd NFL game. The snap was juggled. Vogel didn't get it down clean. Crosby's missed 2. Starter and the understudy, Ty Montgomery, went to St. Mark's High School in the Dallas area, out with a broken rib, so Aaron Jones a chance to play again, and he's got his 2nd NFL touchdown. First time Mason Crosby's missed 2 extra points in a game in his career. Entering today, he'd been 493 out of 500 attempts. And it's funny, you and I were talking before the game, just in conversation. about how we, I think, are all guilty of just taking for granted the long snapper, and when there's a kicker out there, the holder. And in this case, I didn't think the snap was bad from Tabor Pepper. It just looked like Vogel kind of boxed it.
Yeah, it looked to be a good snap, but when you're used to working with, Brett Good, who was the long snapper for a long time, and then you go to Tabor Pepper, and there was some concern with him going into that game against the Chicago Bears, but it looked better this week in practice. They didn't have any issues in Chicago. It looked to me like the snap was fine, but costly.
Time now for Dallas as Witten makes the catch. He gets 9. Blake Martinez, 2 timeouts for the Cowboys in what is a 2-score game because of the misses. 2nd and 1, and Prescott, Witten again, and the vet is out of bounds with a first down.
Well, obviously there's time for the Cowboys to get into position, but yeah, like you said, Joe, you look at this first half, it's been a struggle for the Packers, and yet short of the 2 missed extra points, this would be a 1-possession ball game at 7 points, and it would be demoralizing for this Packers team after going down and coming away with a touchdown and overcoming some adversity to give up points to the Cowboys here before the end of the half.
Down the sideline for Bryant, not there. Devon House in coverage, 2nd and 10 with 25 seconds left.
You take a shot to Dez. It's one-on-one, him on Devon House, and a lot of times he's faced some good corners. Janoris Jenkins, Patrick Peterson, and he's going to draw typically the best guy, but for the Packers defensively as they came into this game, they were not going to shadow him with any one particular guy. Of course, King's out, but they felt that the young guy could hold up well against him and Devon House and keep from giving up anything big down the field.
Prescott floats it for Beasley. First down at the 50. Timeout taken by Garrett on the sideline. 18 seconds left. What's coming up, Kurt, at halftime?
Coming up on the Visa halftime, the Ravens head to Cali to take on the Raiders. The first-place Rams host the Seahawks in a crucial NFC West matchup. And there's an overtime thriller in Indy. It all comes your way next on the Visa halftime report.
They're playing it straight this week back in the studio. 1 timeout left, 18 seconds. Career long for Dan Bailey. He was one of the best in the history of the league. 56 yards. He did that week 2 at Denver to tie his career long. That means getting it to the 38. That's 12 yards from where they are right now.
And even with that, Joe, as you know, I mean, he's got one of the strongest legs in all of football. We don't even know what his range is. I would not trust that he can't kick it from just about anywhere.
Prescott balls out. It stays with Dallas. And time will tick away. Knocked out by Nick Perry. And if nothing else, that defensive effort by Nick Perry just foiled any chance for Dallas to get points before the half. We take a look at some fun from week 4 with sounds from the field, brought to you by Walmart.com, now offering free 2-day shipping.
What better day than today to come out here and be dominant? We're attacking 28 all day.
Wildcat.
I caught a lace. That was bad.
Well, Dak Prescott had it knocked out by the club of Nick Perry. Good effort. 21-12 at the half. Visa halftime coming up after this from your local Fox station. Arlington, Texas. It's a 21-12 game at the half. We will welcome you inside our broadcast booth. I'm Joe Buck with the Hall of Famer three-time Super Bowl champion Troy Aikman, and we've seen one punt from Green Bay. We saw the half end on that play by Nick Perry. The offense good on each side. It's just that Dallas has played keep away a bit.
Well, they have, and I think that if you look at Green Bay, like we've talked about, and what they've had to overcome, you think about now the two missed extra points. And let's not forget the penalty on Blake Martinez there on the opening possession of this game. That's a 4-point swing as well. But regardless, this second half is shaping up to be a great one, as you would expect between these two franchises.
Feel the same way. Green Bay Packers will get the ball to start this second half. We haven't even talked about Rod Marinelli, the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys, who is 2-13 in his career, his great career against Aaron Rodgers. He's seen enough of number 12.
Pretty remarkable, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. Janice takes a knee. Aaron Andrews, what'd you learn?
Well, let's start with another injury for Green Bay. Cornerback Kevin King, he is out with a concussion. Their head coach, Mike McCarthy, he did tell me that for this defense, we just have to get off the field on 3rd down and 4th down for that matter. Said we really have to clear that up. And for offense, we talked about the pressure on Aaron Rodgers. He just simply felt it was a bad series. They can clear it up. And he said, if our offense gets on the field, they're not stopping us.
Aaron, thanks. We'll keep an eye on that sunshine that can be a problem in this stadium. Sunny day, weather's ideal outside here in Texas. It's only the 4th Packers possession. Punted, as I said one time, as Jones carries it left side, gets 7. One of the storylines in this game, 2 missed extra points. First time in the really good career of Mason Crosby he's done that in a game, and this one bobbled a bit. Crosby yanked it. And then right before this second half started, that one started to fade on him, so we'll keep an eye on that. Rodgers out to his right, chased, throws. What a catch by Bennett! Falling as he brought it to the ground, and he hung on. What a play.
And it looked like he used his body perfectly as he's going up the field vertically. He's got Byron Jones on his back, and the ball's in the air, and he holds him off right there just enough, and then he has to go try and make a play on it. And it's his ability to go up and do these types of things that really excites Aaron Rodgers. Martellus Bennett, a former 2nd-round pick, spent his first 4 years with the Cowboys, could have signed in the NBA right out of high school. He's got some ability.
33-yarder to Martellus Bennett. That's as long as a Packer. He's been a Pro Bowler. And Marty B, brother of Michael Bennett of the Seattle Seahawks, is with his 5th team in the last 7 years, but he's been one of the better downfield threats at that position in the league over that stretch.
He can't just seem to find a home. As you said, 5 teams in 7 years. This is his 3rd team in the last 3. But he's good in space, and he's also a good blocker on the end of the line.
Won a ring with the Patriots last year. There's the first target of Jordy Nelson in the game, and he's got a 1st down just inside the 16.
The old slant route. We saw the touchdown to Davante Adams in the first half on the slant and go. Now they finally get Jordy Nelson involved in the game. He's on the slant route, and hey, Mike McCarthy, as we just heard from Aaron Andrews, said, yeah, he's been hit, but if we get the ball, they can't stop us, and it sure looks that way right now.
Here's Aaron Jones, right side, missed tackle. Jones down to the 3.
Well, Jalen Smith, as I said earlier, coming off a tough game last week against these Rams in run defense and in pass coverage. He's got a free shot right in the hole to come up and make a tackle on Aaron Jones, and he just whiffs. I'll tell you, this Aaron Jones, he's been impressive. He's got a little something, and Mike McCarthy was sure high on him yesterday.
3 tight ends and a fullback in there, and here is Jones, and that play is stuffed. DeMarcus Lawrence is in there for the Dallas Cowboys, and a loss of 2 on the play. Here are the numbers for Rod Marinelli, the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. He's been a head coach in Detroit. That was Aaron Rodgers' first year. He lost to him. He's been the defensive coordinator in Chicago, and now here in Dallas, 2-13 against teams led by Aaron Rodgers. Second and goal.
And here's Martellus Bennett, one-on-one at the top.
Pass broken up. Hitchens got his hands in there with Nelson the target. And they are thrilled to get number 59 back in the middle of this defense, or the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I think he saved the touchdown too, because he gets his hand on the ball right there, but Jordy Nelson was able to get inside of Anthony Brown, and that would have been a touchdown if not for Hitchens.
Jordy Nelson, the best red zone target in the league. He's got 15 red zone touchdowns over the last 20 games, most in the league. Bad snap, third and goal. Back at the end zone, Allison, incomplete. And he was hooked up with Byron Jones. Now Crosby will come out to attempt the field goal, and Mike McCarthy was looking for a flag on Jones.
Yeah, everybody was looking around for a flag, and the Cowboys go with a three-man rush. They run a spy on Aaron Rodgers to keep him from keeping it himself. And then they go after Byron Jones. And I really didn't see much there. Geronimo Allison wanted it, but now we'll see. Cowboys calling timeout just where Mason Crosby is right now on what should be just a chip shot.
Well, it's shorter than an extra point. It's a 22-yard try. And Brian Price, former Packer, was late getting off the field. They had to use a timeout. Saturday, it's college football on FS1. First K-State hosts number 8 TCU at noon Eastern. A lot in these parts will be watching that game later. A Big Ten matchup. Number 10 Ohio State faces Nebraska at 7:30 Eastern. All on FS1 and streaming live on FS Go. Disappointing ending to that drive by Green Bay to start this second half. It'll be a 22-yard try by Crosby.
Well, let's remember this timeout as we move through this game by Dallas. These timeouts, one thing to burn one in the first half. When you go into a game like this, every one of them is important. But they had to call one.
Good snap, good hold, good kick. Good game. It's a 6-point affair early second half in Arlington. The offensive leaders for the Dallas Cowboys who lead this game, but it's now a 6-point game. Dak Prescott has been really good. Des Bryant has a touchdown. Elliott a lot of carries, but under 2.5 yards per carry, and the Cowboys about to get it back. Start at the 25.
Look how well these quarterbacks have played. Just 8 incompletions between the two of them. Dak Prescott had a heck of a first half, created a lot of plays, made things happen down the field.
There's a flag back in the area where the Packers kicked off. So do they want to tack on 5 yards? The answer is yes, as opposed
offside,
to re-kick.
Kicking team number 29. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the play. First down, Dallas at the 30-yard line.
Terry McCauley tells you all you need to know, and here's Dak Prescott, who has kept so many plays alive with his legs and found receivers downfield. His first one was to Bryce Butler. He's found Cole Beasley for 2 touchdown catches, Des Bryant the other. And they were stopped at the end of the first half as the clock ran out after a sack by Nick Perry. Dropped off for Terrence Williams. Small gain with Quentin Rollins coming up initially to make the stop, a gain of 4.
Probably one of the big surprises for me, Joe, so far in this ball game has been the Cowboys' inability to get Ezekiel Elliott going. When you go back to last year, those 2 games, the one in October, the Packers were the #1 run defense in the league at that time, and the Cowboys went right through them running the football, and they ran the ball well against them in January also. I thought they would come in and have some success. Green Bay struggled in that area, but they've been tough.
Nothing here this time either, as Blake Martinez makes the tackle. Well, Elliott and the Cowboys and the NFL in certain ways waiting on a federal appeals panel on whether his 6-game suspension remains on hold while his case plays out in court. As we said when they were playing in Denver, nobody has any idea. You can't handicap what the court system's going to do. Ruling could come down any day, and he could play all year, or he could start sitting next week. Nobody knows.
Yeah, and you talk to team officials, and hey, they do believe that some of that has impacted his play, and how could it not?
3rd down and 3 here for Dallas. Pass is caught for a first down, Bryant. And a nice catch in traffic. Gain of 5.
Yeah, this is an area where the Cowboys have been really good today. And we heard Mike McCarthy say they've got to be better in getting off the field on 3rd down, but they're 3rd and medium, and they're able to convert to Dez Bryant. And even on those occasions when they've stopped him on 3rd down, the Cowboys then have kept the ball going forward on 4th.
Play action. Pass is broken up. Dez Bryant played defense with Josh Hawkins staring at an interception.
Well, you see Josh Hawkins and Dez Bryant, a lot of hand combat coming off the ball, and Prescott had Bryant much earlier. That's a hard throw to make as you're going to your left and you're trying to drive a throw into the hole. And Hawkins almost able to come back on that one and make a play.
2nd and 10. Hand off to Elliott in the backfield. Blake Martinez, what a game he's had. A loss of 2, 3rd and 12 coming.
Well, they're hugging tight with Blake Martinez as he comes up here. They're trying to kick him out with Zach Martin as he pulls, but he's able to beat Martin and then force it inside, and he's got some of his teammates there to make the play. And you're right, he's having a heck of a day.
8 tackles. 8.5 to go, 3rd quarter. 6-point game. Setting up a screen for Williams. Breaks 1 tackle, taken down by Rollins. And Quentin Rollins saved a first down with that shoestring tackle of Terrence Williams. 4th down.
Quentin Rollins, of course, he's now getting more playing time because of the effect of losing Kevin King, and he's playing inside. Damarious Randall, his role has changed as well. He was going to be playing inside on the slot against Cole Beasley. They like that matchup, but again, because King's out, Damarious Randall now, he kicks out to the outside, and Quentin Rollins having to play the slot makes a big stop.
First punt for Chris Jones, who's been so good this year, leads the NFL in downing it inside the 20. And he's done it again as Swain downfield corrals it for Dallas. They lead by 6. Here comes number 12. Big day today for these 3. Carson Wentz, 4 touchdowns. Cam Newton off the win in New England gets a win in Detroit. And A.J. Green, huge day, 189 yards and a touchdown for the victorious Cincinnati Bengals.
Some of those weapons the Eagles went out and got paying off for Carson Wentz.
I'll say they are 4-1 on top in the East. Rodgers going to take off and slide with a nice gain on first down of 6. So now these Green Bay receivers have to look back at their quarterback and look into the end of the stadium with the sun beating through those windows.
It is a factor. We've done these afternoon games and we've seen it. And the receivers have it now, the defensive backs, and everyone else is looking into it for the Cowboys.
On 2nd down, Rodgers well protected, not anymore, and able to just get rid of it. They're going to throw a flag. DeMarcus Lawrence was there for Dallas. Here's the call.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 93. 15-yard penalty, automatic first.
They get Benson Mayoa, and let's take a look. Lawrence was there.
It's right after this. He's held up. And then as he throws it away, they feel like he comes in with the crown of his helmet. I think that's probably a pretty good call. He lowers his head. Thought they were going to call intentional grounding on Aaron Rodgers. There's been some costly penalties on both teams in this game.
You can see
the quarterback was in the grasp and ruled dead. There is no foul for intentional grounding. First down.
So it's after the play, Mike Pereira. What'd you think of that call?
No, all he just said was that he had ruled him in the grasp, which means that's something that's not reviewable. You can't turn that into intentional grounding. You know, the helmet, he does lead with the helmet. Again, I would say, is it forcible contact at the head or neck area? I really don't think it is. I mean, I think really, to me, be better off not calling one. It's not an egregious hit, in my opinion.
Jason Garrett is hot, I think, about both ends of that call. First of all, with the quarterback in the grasp, and then with the hit. And you can read lips. He's saying he didn't hit him in the head. You know,
I just think he sees the crown of the helmet go down. He's in the grasp. As they said, they ruled him dead. But I really thought the flag was for intentional grounding. He was within the pocket. I didn't see any receiver in the area. That's when the flag came out. That's what I thought it was for.
So here you go. They ruled a sack at the 2. And then they add the 15-yard penalty. So it's 1st and 10 at the 17. Here's Jones breaking loose. Byron Jones on the stop after a big carry out near the 40 to the 39. 22 yards.
Just nobody filling their hole. You're going to see the cutback here, and there's no outside contain by the Cowboys to guard against the backside cutback. Hey, it's been a while since Aaron Rodgers has had a running game like this. He hasn't had it this year. And Aaron Jones is helping him out.
That's a season-long 22-yard carry by Jones. Rodgers keeps, dumps off to Bennett, making a move on Hitchens, and a nice gain on 1st down. All the momentum on the Green Bay side. Start your Sundays with the best morning pregame show on television, Fox NFL Kickoff. Get you set with all the latest breaking NFL news and updates you need to start your football Sunday. Fox NFL Kickoff on Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, you talk about that run by Aaron Jones of 22 yards, the team's longest run of the season. Coming into this game, 13 yards was the longest run they had this year, and that was by Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Jones matched that in the first half, but hard to come by these big runs for the Packers this year.
Here's another nice carry on 2nd and 4. It'll be a yard shy is Aaron Jones. Malik Collins with a stop.
We'll see what Rod Marinelli decides to do. Is he going to rush 3? Is he going to rush 4? He's got a 4-down line. Looks like they might come after him.
Pass is behind Adams. It's 4th down. Jordan Lewis, the rookie, and the 3rd-round pick out of Michigan, there to make the stop.
If Rodgers was wanting a call on that, not clearly he's upset. But Jordan Lewis, you talked about it earlier, is the Packers, they stay out.
They're going to go for it on 4th and a yard or try to draw Dallas offside.
The way that Aaron Jones has run the football in this game, if you knew you were going to go for it on 4th down, I'm not so sure I just wouldn't have handed it to him two times.
Play clock was at 1. Timeout, Green Bay. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this message from Geico.
It's in the heartbeat, it's in the real thing. You can't make it up. It's in your soul, it's in the stars.
Not everyone can be an all-pro like Jason Witten, but anyone could save money with Geico.
There's Jason Witten, and he will watch with the rest of us on 4th and 1. The Green Bay Packers, an NFL best 4 for 4 on 4th down this season.
Well, we'll see, as you said, whether or not they'll snap it or if they'll just try to draw them off sides. I think they're drawing up a play down there. And now remember, what the Packers do an awfully good job of is coming off the ball and getting the ball out quick, using receivers to block while the ball's in flight and try to free somebody up. We'll see what they've got designed here. They go with the tight splits.
Little toss. Jones running left. He's got it. First down and more. Inside the 45. Good block out on the edge by Lane Taylor to help pick it up.
A little diversion when they go motion with the receiver across, and then they come off of that as though they may hand it to him and they pitch it back out to Aaron Jones. And man coverage. You see Lane Taylor, he pulls out, he helps lead the way. It's a nice job by that offensive front.
Aaron Jones gets 10. That's 4 runs of 10 or more yards for the rookie from Utah.
319.
More. Man, he looks good. Gain of 7. Jalen Smith on the tackle, but the Cowboys don't have any answers for the rookie.
They sure don't. This offensive line, this makeshift offensive line has really dominated for the most part throughout this game. Certainly have running the football.
Averaging over 6.5 yards a carry is Aaron Jones.
319.
Play action. Rodgers gonna run for it, and he's got it. First down, Green Bay. Aaron Jones looking pretty good here today.
Yeah, he does. And you mentioned he went to UTEP, grew up in El Paso, 9.5 hours away. 15 people here today, Joe. And he told me, you know, when Aaron Rodgers said to us, we've had to keep it basic because of all the injuries on the offensive line. Aaron Jones appreciates that because he said it helps me move faster and understand this offense when I'm in for Ty Montgomery.
Well, he's now knocking on the door of a 100-yard day as Jamal Williams comes in, another rookie. First time he's been on the field, he gets it, and he stuffed Jalen Smith and Anthony Hitchens combined on the stop.
Well, Jamal Williams, he had season-high 4 carries on that Thursday night game against the Bears, and then he got dinged up, and that's what gave Aaron Jones his opportunity. And like I said, in visiting with Mike McCarthy, he sure is happy with what he has shown him. And 5th-round pick out of UTEP. He has looked good here today. You think of the 2 losses that the Cowboys have had in this season against Denver and then against the Rams, and the yards they gave up on the ground. And it's repeating itself here today.
Rodgers flushed out and pushed out by Irving. Demontre Moore got through, almost had a sack. It's a gain of 4, 3rd and 5 coming up.
Well, you can see the frustration on Aaron Rodgers' face. I think he's really, I said, he's gotten help with the running game, but you can see there's a lot of frustration building within him right now. Some things that he wants to get to, some things he's not happy about that are happening around him. He's just trying to keep his cool right now.
3rd and 10.
False start. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's Justin McCray who got the start at left guard today.
Yeah, and that, Aaron, as you would expect. I mean, anytime there's a false start, no matter who you are, how young you are, it's frustrating for a quarterback. And he is so good with the snap count and really being able to manipulate a defense in so many ways. But you got to keep your own guys on sides.
Play clock at 2. Flag. Nelson incomplete, but a flag down. Now more. The indication on the near sideline is a hold against Dallas, but there are two separate fouls.
There are two fouls on the play prior to the pass. Holding defense number 30, that penalty's declined. Holding defense number 27, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis.
And more penalties that have hurt. And this offensive line, James Campen, their offensive line coach, he has earned his paycheck each and every week trying to get these guys ready to go. And the Cowboys on that last play, they try to bring some pressure, and they passed it off well, picked it up, gave Rodgers a lot of time, and that certainly put stress on the defense.
Here's Jones back to action. Jalen Smith, Jordan Lewis on the stop, gain of 4. And now Aaron Jones is over 100 yards for the day, and the Cowboys are trying to get guys off the field with Green Bay hurrying it up, and they did. That's the third 100-yard rusher the Dallas defense has allowed this year. They didn't allow any last year.
Well, the other thing it does is by hurrying up, it forces the defense to tip their hand, and then Rodgers changes the play. He's got one-on-one across the board if he wants to take a shot.
He finds Adams. Perfect throw to the 10. First and goal, Green Bay.
Slant route. Davante Adams, he had a heck of a year last year, but he has turned into really one of the excellent receivers in this game, and being able to beat man-to-man coverage. He's going to have a big year.
And that's the end of the third quarter. It'll be first and goal to open the fourth. Aaron Rodgers doing his thing, has his team in position, down by 6. Back after this from your local Fox station. This will end up being the longest drive of the season for the Green Bay Packers, both in terms of plays and time on the clock. They trail by 6 as we start the fourth quarter, first and goal from the 10. Play action. Nelson wide open. Touchdown. The red zone weapon, Jordy Nelson. 6th touchdown of the season for number 87.
Well, the Packers go 2 tight ends. They work them to this one side. Martellus Bennett, Lance Kendrick here. They go play action to Aaron Jones with the running game. You see the effect that it has on the linebackers. And Jordy Nelson comes off the line of scrimmage, uncontested, and just nobody taking away the underneath throw.
Crosby trying to finally hit an extra point, and he does. For a 1-point lead on America's Game of the Week. A shootout in Texas to the surprise of the Cowboys. Pack up 1. Well, Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't panic. 14-play drive covering 88 yards over 7.5 minutes off the clock. This was a 21-6 game with Dallas on top. It's now Green Bay on top by 1. After nearly a decade of working together in the fight against breast cancer, this year the NFL and the American Cancer Society are broadening the scope of their efforts to tackle multiple types of cancer. Learn more about the expanded Crucial Catch initiative and access the Defender, a new digital tool that provides personalized tips on reducing cancer risk at NFL.com/Crucial Catch.
Well, this year the league's brought attention to a lot of other cancers besides breast cancer, and I, for one, I applaud the NFL and their efforts. I think they do a terrific job.
Toss to Elliott, who really has not gotten going. His best of the day. Down in midfield. Keith Smith was out there blocking for him, and that is a 25-yard run.
Well, it's been a while, huh? They get Tyron Smith. He pulls out, and then you also have the fullback, as you said, Keith Smith, and they've gone bigger personnel in this game, trying to get this running game going, and that's a good way to start this drive.
Elliott, 25-yarder, had 31 yards on his first 16 carries. What a way to start that drive. Nick Perry came across early. Here's another one to Elliott. He's got 11, and Morgan Burnett is slow to get up. And it looked like Nick Perry was offside on the play.
Offside. Defense number 53. Penalties decline. First down.
It was against Perry. And Burnett gets attention on the field. Perry looks banged up with his defense racked with injuries. First down play here for the Dallas Cowboys. On the back edge of field goal range already. They have bigger dreams than that. Here's Elliott. He is getting going down to the 35, a gain of 4. As from across the field, we say hello to you. Three-man booth. Buck Aikman and Pereira.
Right over here on the far side.
Yeah, typically he's over on the other side.
A little bit more to the right.
A little bit more to the right, but always great to have Mike here in case anything should pop up during the course of the game, rules-wise, and it's been a good game. 22-21 Green Bay. 2nd and 6. Pass, Witten. First down at the 27. Gain of 8.
Well, we're seeing the Cowboys when they were running the football with Ezekiel Elliott. They're going 2 backs and 1 tight end. They've got the fullback Keith Smith in, and this time they stay with that personnel. As you see the sun clearly in Jason Witten's eyes, he's able to make the catch. But they split Keith Smith out, then they run Ezekiel Elliott out as well, and they work the middle of the field with Jason Witten.
Elliott. Power run to the 25. Gain of 2.
I mean, their personnel, as far as what Dallas is doing on this possession, is saying, hey, we're going to run the football. We got our running personnel on the field and stop us, and that was the first time the Packers were able to do so.
2nd and 8. Witten again, incomplete. Clay Matthews leveled the future Hall of Famer. It'll be 3rd and 8, and again, these receivers have to look back straight into the sun, and for good measure, Clay Matthews, it's Jason Witten to knock that ball out.
It's going to get worse. I mean, right now, where the line of scrimmage is anyway, they're in the shade, but from the 20 to the 5, and even parts of that end zone are going to be hectic for these receivers to locate the football.
Prescott, pass is broken up. Well done by Kentrell Bryce.
Well, I don't know. It looked to me like Kentrell Bryce might have gotten away with one. It looked like we'll see when the contact was made, but he goes through the back. Good non-call. Looked worse in real time that maybe he kind of worked through Witten's back, but he's got the hand on the ball. I think it was a good non-call.
43-yard try by Dan Bailey. He is the most accurate kicker in NFL history. And he puts Dallas back on top by 2. Big game by Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Jones making his presence felt with a 100-yard day. Davante Adams, great to see him back after that vicious hit by Danny Trevathan. And a night in the hospital after last Thursday night's game at home against Chicago. Cowboys back in front, 2-point lead. Bailey to kick it away. Little pop-up, chance for a return, and this is the first of the year for Green Bay. It's Janis. Run to the sunshine. Can't make the 20. Two-time league MVP Aaron Rodgers told us his favorite throws.
That is one of my favorites because there was so much nerves. I finally kind of completed a big pass. Probably the best throw of my career. I threw it as high as I possibly could and as far as I possibly could. Jared Cook might be one of my favorite plays. Thinking about that for months actually before that, we didn't actually come up with a call until in the huddle.
Well, that's 3 of many, as Aaron Rodgers now has to shade his eyes from the sun. That first throw he was talking about was in Super Bowl 45. He won a Super Bowl here in Arlington, Texas, as Aaron Jones takes it over the left side for 4. Aaron Andrews, you're the one that asked the question, and man, he had a lot to pick from.
He did, and that 3rd and 20 to Jared Cook was the one all of the Dallas Cowboys were talking about from last year, this week when we met with them. And Jason Witten said it was that play, but he sat in his locker and a reporter came up and said, "Is this it for you? Are you going to retire?" And he thought, "No, I'm not, but I know it's not going to be about just having a great year. We have to put it all together if we're going to beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers."
Rodgers 5-2 against Dallas in his career, 2-0 in the postseason. 2014 at Lambeau. Here's Scandrick making a play. And then last year, as he set up Mason Crosby for the winner to get to the NFC Champ game in Atlanta.
You start trying to pick Aaron Rodgers' 3 best throws. Like you said, that's hard to get through, but I know he liked the Hail Mary that he threw up high, but that throw last January is the best I've ever seen.
Out to his left on 3rd and 20 to set up the game-winning field goal. Now it's 3rd and 6. Low snap. Floated. Pass is broken up. Nelson the target. Jordan Lewis, the rookie in coverage.
Well, they're asking the rookie Jordan Lewis to handle a pretty big load right here with Jordy Nelson in this man-to-man coverage with his back to the ball. Nelson's almost able to make a play on it, but I know in talking with Aaron Rodgers, he discussed how much he was hoping they would play press coverage because it gives him some of the back shoulder throws, some things that the defensive back simply doesn't see. That time just not able to quite get it out there far enough for Nelson.
Defense, 12 men on the field in formation. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
It's still 4th down. It was 4th and 6. It was almost a killer penalty against the Dallas Cowboys. Now it's 4th down and a yard. The Cowboys led by 15 points in this game with under a minute left in the first half. They led by 11 last week late in the second quarter and lost here at home to the Rams. They have the lead again. It's 2 and they're about to get it back. Switzer, the rookie. What a play downfield. Jeff Janis. Great coverage. And the rookie Switzer, who muffed a punt last week against the Rams, happy to hang on. One of the leaders on this defense now, Morgan Burnett, questionable with a hamstring strain. Longest tenured defensive coordinator in the NFL, Dom Capers. His 9th year trying to patch this defense together. If the Cowboys have found their power ground game, now's the time when they use it. Elliott over the right side, brought down by Clark, a gain of 3.
Cowboys come out, they found something there, and they've run the ball that last possession with Ezekiel Elliott. Some of their best runs have been with Keith Smith in the backfield, lead blocking for him, and they open up this drive with him in the game also.
Second and 7. Pass is picked off the arms of Williams. Randall, touchdown Green Bay. There's a flag in the corner of the end zone, but it happened after the play.
Touchdown counts after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, intercepting team number 23. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. That is number 23's first unsportsmanlike conduct, counting toward disqualification.
So Troy Damarious Randall, who ended the game in the locker room, sent there by head coach Mike McCarthy last week against Chicago, gets the deflected interception and then tosses the ball into the left arm of Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
That got him the penalty, and now...
Well, Damarious Randall makes a great play. They're in zone coverage. It's a ball that's a little hot on Terrence Williams. He should make the catch. Damarious Randall catches the deflection and is able to return it for the touchdown. But this young man needs to grow up. This is a heck of a job. He makes a nice play on the ball. He scores the touchdown, the go-ahead touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And to get a penalty like that is costly.
Now Green Bay will go for 2. To take it from a 4-point game to a 6-point game if it's good. That's the first Packer return for a touchdown of any kind since 2015. It belongs to Damarious Randall.
Well, the defense helped them on Thursday night against the Bears with 4 takeaways, and they show up here to help out this offensive unit.
0 for 1 on 2-point tries this season. Wide open but overthrown, and a rare mistake as Jordy Nelson is missed.
And Rodgers knows it. He bent over, he was sick to himself. He knows he had a great opportunity, and you don't see him miss throws like that very many times.
So it stays a 4-point game. But the turnover, the takeaway, and the touchdown by Damarious Randall, and now it's Green Bay back on top, and really about as good a Week 5 game as you're going to see between two outstanding organizations.
And really not what we didn't expect. I mean, these have typically always been great games between these two teams. I mean, a lot of discussion of what happened last January. That was a great game, and this one was a little different. Two teams really trying to find themselves a little bit and get things going, but it's turned into a heck of a second half. But I mean, Damarious Randall, to have that kind of penalty and really put your defense in a hole after he made such a nice play, it's just not very smart.
You could give the rookie Ryan Switzer a chance for a return. By the way, a personal moment, I just want to send my condolences to the family of Caleb Wright. Fantastic, wonderful man, great father-in-law, and he will be missed. Here's the kickoff from Crosby from back at the 20, and here's a chance for Switzer from the 5. Some room to run. To the 35, and a flag at the end of the play.
During the return, holding receiving team number 38. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So they don't really pay any penalty at all for the penalty on Damarious Randall. It's on Jeff Heath, who's had a tough start defensively in his first year as the starter at safety for Dallas. Guilty of a hold. And it moves the ball back to the 21. Actually, it worked out to the Packers' advantage. If the ball was a touchback, they'd have it at the 25. Instead, they have it at the 21. That'll teach you, Aikman. He doesn't have to grow up.
I thought he was unbelievable. What a great play on his part.
4-point game. Prescott. Des Bryant, haven't heard from him for a while. See what kind of forward progress they give him. Just shy of the 30. Second and a long one coming. Kentrell Bryce on the stop.
Well, overall, I mean, we're seeing Dak Prescott complete a lot of passes. I mean, he's really been efficient, done a lot of nice things, has created plays. They had the 149-yard completion to Bryce Butler in the first quarter of this game. But beyond that, the Packers defensively have not given up big chunks, and that goes a long way.
3 tight end formation as Ezekiel Elliott picks up the first down. That was Bryant's second catch of the second half. On under 9 to play as you look at the offensive huddle in the day for Dak Prescott. It's been a lot of this, Troy. Great first half. Yeah. Not so good in the second half, not just for Dak Prescott, but for the Cowboys in general.
I said earlier that the Packers weren't matching up on Bryant, but when Kevin King went down, they got Devon House on him now most of the second half.
Here's Witten left alone. Matthews finds Jason Witten. And a nice pickup on first down of 6. Each side with 2 timeouts left. 2nd and 4.
We talk about these Packers injuries and what they've had to do along that offensive line, and boy, the injuries defensively that they've had over the last several years and what Dom Capers has had to work with. And of course, once again today in the secondary, losing Kevin King and now of course Morgan Burnett.
The time of possession edge has been completely flipped, and here's Zeke Elliott taken down with a first down for Dallas. So they're better at running the ball in this second half. They're the number 14 ranked running offense in the league through 4 games. And his quote, they've been challenged by very good fronts. Talking about his offensive line, but they need to play better. Doug Free retired. Ronald Leary ended up in Denver as a free agent. And they lost Chaz Green, who's not starting, out with a bad hip, who started the year at left guard. Jonathan Cooper, another start next to Travis Frederick. Pass to Witten. You see where Dak Prescott's going. He's looking for 82 just about every time he drops back. That one good for 5.
Well, again, the Cowboys are running a lot of 2-back sets, a lot of 2 tight end sets as well. And running the football, it's no secret what they'd like to do is they hit the completion there to Jason Witten. But they'd like to run the football with Ezekiel Elliott. There's under 7 minutes to play. They're down 4 points, and milk this clock methodically and go win this game and not leave time for Aaron Rodgers.
Elliott tries the left side. First down. Flag thrown. It's a hold against Dallas. This is a big call.
Holding. Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That was Travis Frederick, who was called on a hold on a 2-point try last week against the Rams.
Looks a lot like what happened last week. I mean, he comes in at the end of this play, and you're going to see him in the middle there, Travis Frederick, but it's not until he gets up to the next level that there was a grab. I know against the Rams, a lot of people didn't think that was a hold. I thought it was a textbook hold, and it certainly hurt him last week, and this one could prove costly as well.
Takes a first down away. It's 2nd and 10, and now timeout taken defensively. Here's another look at the penalty on Frederick, 72, as he takes down Jake Ryan.
Yeah, he gets the left arm. Same thing happened last week against the Rams. You get the left arm and hand outside on the defender. They're trying to get away from that. That's what the officials see, and this is what you're going to see what happened last week against the Rams.
2-point try. And the hold call against Frederick.
Well, when they see a defender trying to escape an offensive lineman's block and there's a pull or a tug, you know, and the hand is outside the frame of the body, it's going to be called. I know the league office weighed in on last week's call. They said they're going to call it every time.
The only turnover of this game led to the go-ahead touchdown on a deflected interception last time Dallas had it.
A free play.
Aired out. Far sideline. Williams. What a play. That's Randall. Damarious Randall saved a touchdown.
Offside. Defense number 53. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, he's made 2 plays now in this second half as they get Nick Perry for the second time for an offside. Look at this play.
Yeah, Terrence Williams was behind him. He's got a couple steps on him, and Damarious has to go up and make a play. The ball was underthrown enough for Randall to be able to get his hand on the ball. Had Prescott have been able to get that out further, that would have been a touchdown.
6:18 left. 2nd and 5. Do they trust the ground game to pick it up? They try it with Elliott. Breaks one tackle. He's a yard short. And in this spot, they've got 2 downs now coming to make the 1 yard if they need it. Philadelphia won today over the Cardinals. They're 4-1. Dallas trying to get to 3-2. They have 2 head-to-head meetings coming. Dallas is headed for their bye next week. So you know, Green Bay next at Minnesota against the Saints, and then their bye.
I wonder if here you take a shot. If you're going to go for it on 4th down, they're playing soft across the board.
Pass is caught. 2nd catch for Keith Smith, and a big one. 1st down. They like kind of these players that are deep on the depth chart at running back, not just for what they do on special teams, but Smith and Smith, Keith and Rod, good blockers, and they've got a combined 3 catches in this game.
Yeah, that's pretty good when you can just come out and complete a pass like that to Smith for the 1st down. Some versatility being shown.
Elliott with a big hole right up the middle. The holes are starting to widen. Elliott is starting to grind out yards. Good for 8.
Tyron Smith and then Jonathan Cooper, the left guard. You see the hole, and the linebacker doesn't feel. That's a nice job by that offensive front. They've opened up some holes here in this 2nd half for Elliott.
Power game is working again for Dallas. Elliott, who's got 99 yards, carries a tackler for a 1st down. That was Mike Daniels on his back. And they're doing exactly what you said. This is basically either get the touchdown and win it, try and keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, or you don't get it done. They don't want to see 12 out there again for Green Bay.
And they don't want to. That's right. And so even if the Packers play tight, you don't want to take a shot. I mean, you obviously want to score a touchdown, but you don't want to do it too early. So anything they throw, I'd have to believe, is going to continue to be high percentage stuff, keep the chains moving, and then run the ball with Elliott. This has been a heck of a drive. Under 4 minutes now in this game.
Helmet issue for Elliott, so he has to come out. Here is Dak Prescott, and he's able somehow to find Alfred Morris to avoid a sack or a grounding.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dak Prescott really fortunate here. He is awfully loose with the football, with a lot of congestion on him in the pocket. You're going to see as Prescott gets pressured, he's pretty loose with the football up in the air right there. That would have been real easy to have it come out. He's fortunate that Alfred Morris was in the area and not an intentional grounding call.
2nd and 10. Alfred Morris with a stutter step. And now the former Redskin Pro Bowler. Back up to Elliott with a run of 5. Jake Ryan on the tackle. Ezekiel Elliott comes back in, and say it again, 2 downs to get the 1st down, and Damarious Randall is down on his knees.
He's down. I will say, going back on that 1st down play, I'm really surprised they just didn't pound the football instead of trying to throw it.
3rd and 5 when we come back. This 3rd down and 5 result could render this point moot. But if they don't get it, Jason Garrett then says, do I kick a field goal, make it a 1-point game, and risk putting Aaron Rodgers back out there, or do I want my offense out there trying to go down and win the ball game?
I wouldn't trust stopping Aaron Rodgers. You got to make a stop either way. But that timeout they called to start this 2nd half could come back to haunt them, depending on what happens on this drive.
3rd and 5. Beasley with a catch, depends on the spot, and they're going to give him the 1st down. The indication already is 1st down Dallas, and that was close. Clinton Dixon coverage, good catch by Beasley.
Great catch. That's a great catch. As he's coming across in a high fastball and having to make a play knowing you're about to get hit. I don't know.
Clinton Dix thinks it's 4th down, and it was really close. Forward progress maybe, and Mike McCarthy is going to challenge it. So it's either 1st and 10 or 4th and less than 1. Mike Pereira, the question has been since replay came in, is there enough evidence to overturn the call, because the call on the field is 1st down?
You know, Joe, I think there is. And what we always do when we're looking at these back in Los Angeles, we look at the live shot. And the progress spot is where he is first contacted by the defender. And he's got the ball in his left hand when the contact comes. And to me, he is short of the 19-yard line. I think they're going to look at this and change it to 4th down.
And then if that is the case, and again, you watch this catch. I mean, the momentum of the ball sailing forward brings the arms of Beasley to just about that line. But as you said, it's where the defender first contacts him, and that's now, and he looks to be short, right?
And that's the key. Even though the ball, when he was stretched out, got to the line, he's not being contacted by the defender.
The forward progress is stopped at the 19.5-yard line. It'll be 4.5 yard to go.
Well, now Jason Garrett's power offense is faced with 4th and half a yard.
As we've said throughout this game, they have not been stopped on 3rd or 4th and 1 all year. And they've gone for it already a couple times in this game. They've picked it up. There's no reason not to.
Behind this big offensive line that's been questioned here at the start of 2017. It's Elliott, and it depends on what they give him. Doesn't look like he got it. It's Green Bay's ball as Elliott is stuffed.
Dean Lowry, number 94, he holds up Zach Martin. It looked like they're in the middle. Actually, it's Lyle Collins who he gets the push. Nowhere for him to go.
Wait a minute now. They just showed the replay, and we could have a challenge, and we will.
Dallas is challenged, but the runner made the line again.
You see Elliott on top of bodies knocked down, stretch the ball out. And if they give him the 19-yard line on this replay, the drive will continue. He's not down.
Yeah, I don't know how they can't. I mean, right there would be the spot.
Mike Pereira, do you see 1st down? I do.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You don't think that Skycam is going to be the shot that gives you what you need. You would never know that from the down-the-line shot. But I think I moved the ball to the 19, and then you've got to take a look at the chains. Actually, the chains are set up to take a look at. They may have to move it to the 19 measure, but I think you clearly moved the ball to the 19.
Yeah, it looks like the nose of the ball is just inside the 19, and if that's the case, heads-up play by Elliott. Here's the call.
After review, the foremost point of the ball was beyond the 19-yard line. Be placed there and will be measured.
So now they'll remeasure. They're going to move it. And they're already saying moving the chains, but they're going to, didn't he say remeasure? They did.
They never should have moved the chains. They didn't listen to McCauley's announcement. Now, there is a marker. They mark every time. You can see the head linesman's putting it down on the line. So he has that marker to go back to get them reset. So even though they moved, not a critical thing when you can go back.
They move the chains. They put them back in position. 1st down, Dallas. The clock will wind down to the 2-minute warning. and this is an 8-minute drive. So the clock will wind. There have been 3 fourth-quarter lead changes so far. Will there be another? Find out in the final 2 minutes. The Dallas Cowboy offense came on the field with just under 10 minutes left in this game. A drive that started at their own 21. They have a first down at the 19 of Green Bay with 2 minutes left, and Green Bay with only 1 timeout. Elliott just outside the 10.
Hey, Joe, I'm really shocked by what Green Bay's doing. They're playing 2 deep safeties here. They're playing coverage, and you got to believe the Cowboys are going to run the football. I know they threw it on first down the last time they had 1st and 10, and I didn't agree with that, but they keep the ball on the ground. They're continuing to run time off the clock, and the Packers play coverage, and Elliott makes them pay.
A throw to the end zone and broken up, and I don't understand that play call at all.
I don't think it's time yet. I just don't think it's time to try to score the touchdown. I mean, obviously you want that. You never want to say, hey, well, we're not going to try to score, but you just ran the ball for 8 yards on first down, and you come back, and right now there's still time on the clock for Aaron Rodgers if you score right there. I think you keep the ball on the ground and you let this thing unfold and see what happens.
Now 3rd down and 1. Prescott keeps. Touchdown, Dallas. But the Packers have 1:13 and 1 timeout. The power game for the Cowboys just took them down the field and in.
Yeah, it sure did, and you can't argue with this. I'm not, you know, he's wide open. They're reading Ahmad Brooks at the line of scrimmage. 55, he takes the dive. Prescott keeps it, and he goes and scores. That's a great job on this drive, taking time off the clock, coming away with the touchdown.
Big extra point to make it a 3-point game.
Well, you hate to be the guy, Joe, that says, well, you don't want to score too early.
Yeah,
but
you have to take this touchdown.
You have to take that, but the question now is, did they score too early? I mean, there is time for Aaron Rodgers, as we know. They're down 3 points, certainly to get in field goal range, but there's time for them to go all the way down the field and come away with a win.
Dak Prescott with an 11-yard touchdown run. That's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. What a beautiful fake. I mean, he had that ball just buried in the belly of Ezekiel Elliott, and he dragged it out of there.
Yeah, a lot of times they don't necessarily read this, but he's reading Ezekiel Elliott. They got the read option. Ahmad Brooks bites. He takes it, and Witten is blocking the entire way out on the edge. That's well done.
The only question I would have is throwing it on 2nd down and stop the clock.
Right.
It's one of the reasons why there's 1:13 left, and the Packers didn't have to use a timeout.
Yeah, I thought there were a couple throws that were a little bit of a head scratcher.
Janis will take a knee, and now one of the best in the history of the league will go to work. We've seen some miscues. 2 missed extra points by Mason Crosby. First time he's missed more than 1 in a game in his really good career. And then this one for the 2-point try as Aaron Rodgers missed a wide open Jordy Nelson. So without that conversion, a field goal ties the game, doesn't win it.
And Aaron Rodgers right now staring straight into the sun.
Blitz, far sideline, Davante Adams. What a throw and catch. But the clock continues to wind.
And they only have to get 20 more yards in order to get into Mason Crosby's range. His long is 58 yards. Get to the 40-yard line. That's within his range. And, of course, you know, where's his head right now, as you pointed out, missing the extra points. He's not playing right now with probably all the confidence he'd like to.
Adams was out of bounds. Looked like the official first said wind it. Here's one to Martellus Bennett, running hard and a first down. They're already inside Dallas territory. A catch and run of 14.
And Martellus Bennett, he showed some of his athleticism. If he keeps his feet there, that's off to the races.
Jordy Nelson on the sideline. Pass is low for Adams. So Nelson on the sideline and Aaron Rodgers staring into the sun. Here's that catch by Martellus Bennett and a power run by a big man.
Yeah, he almost splits it. That son is Dallas's 12th man right now.
They run it. Aaron Jones out of bounds just outside the 30. They're already inside field goal range, but they're thinking touchdown and a win.
That's really good right here. You're going to see the block here, the kick out in the lane that's created. Everyone's thinking pass. Jari Evans, he's able to come up on Justin Durant and make a block. Aaron Rodgers thinking touchdown.
Rodgers sideline, Allison not close. Something's got to be wrong with Jordy Nelson. Aaron Rodgers takes a shot, but Jordy Nelson has been on the sideline for this entire drive.
You keep hitting Aaron Rodgers like that, he'll be on the sidelines next week. David Irving, he's right on the nose right now, David Irving. And that's where he's been able to get pressure. He's working against the center, Corey Linsley.
No word from the Packers sideline about the health or any issue with Jordy Nelson. Now, this is an interesting call. They try to run it. A minimal gain of 2, and Rodgers, because of that short run, has to use the final timeout for the Packers. Coming up next, the OT presented by Lowe's. We're in a 3-point game with under 30 to play.
Well, the Cowboys on this possession, they've shown some 2-deep looks. Now with that, if you're going to get a shot into the end zone, you want to go vertical routes. You can go 4 vertical. Somehow they want to stretch a 2-on-1 on one of those safeties and see if they can't drive one in the hole in the seam or take it down the sideline. But if the Cowboys come out with that look, I would expect Rodgers to try to attack it in that way. But he doesn't want to make this field goal, if they don't make it, any harder for Mason Crosby. Can't imagine he'll hold it long if he doesn't see something he likes.
And they can't spike it if they're short of the line to gain. This is a 3rd down play. Rodgers in trouble. Irving on his back. Can't get there. Aaron Rodgers, first down.
How many times did Rod Marinelli say to us on Friday, we've got to keep Aaron Rodgers in the pocket? The game's on the line on 3rd down, and they've done a pretty decent job for the most part in this game, and at the critical time, they let him out.
An 18-yard run by Aaron Rodgers. Season long and a big one. 21 seconds left from the 12. This one floated in the end zone, broken up. Davante Adams with Jordan Lewis again, showing how good he is in his rookie year.
Yeah, and this one, Jordan Lewis, if he is able to get turned around a little quicker, Davante Adams basically playing defense here. Because if Jordan Lewis was able to get turned around just a little bit quicker, he makes a play on that ball. That was a low trajectory ball that really got away from Rodgers, not where he wanted to put that.
Lewis with 7 tackles and 3 pass breakups. 16 seconds left, no timeouts.
They're working that other side, Joe, but here's where they've got the 3 receivers, and they want to work it off of the safety there and try to get something into the end zone.
That's another rookie, Xavier Woods. This one, Adams, touchdown!
They come right back to it. They come right back to the same route that they just threw on the previous down, and this time Rodgers puts it where he wants. Instead of the low trajectory out in front, back shoulder high, and let Davante Adams make a play with Jordan Lewis not locating the ball. That's a great throw, and it's a great adjustment by Davante Adams. And how many times have we seen this from Aaron Rodgers?
Just another week of brilliance from Aaron Rodgers. And how about Davante Adams? Cleared concussion protocol, had that huge hit by Danny Trevathan 2 Thursdays ago, spent the night in the hospital, and he comes back in the next game and catches what looks like the game-winning touchdown.
Well, hey, when we visited with Aaron Rodgers prior to the season opener when they were playing Seattle, he said Davante Adams is going to have a big year, and Ted Thompson and the Green Bay Packers better sign him now because he's going to be demanding a lot of money. That's big time, coming back, like you said, off of the big hit on Thursday night and making a hell of a play on the ball.
Remember that incompletion by Dak Prescott on 2nd down. It stopped the clock. They didn't have to use Green Bay a timeout defensively. They use it on offense. Aaron Rodgers takes his team 75 yards in 62 seconds. And on the 4th quarter lead change, the Packers are up by 4.
And the 3rd down scramble. 3rd down scramble is what gave them the lead.
The 18-yard run by Aaron Rodgers. Looks like he's going to win it with his arm, but he gave himself a chance to do that with his legs. On 3rd down, an 18-yard carry. After an incompletion, Davante Adams and a perfect throw.
It really was. Jordan Lewis, I don't even think he knew the ball had gone over his head yet. He was still looking back at Aaron Rodgers at the time that Davante Adams was making the play, and that's what happens. You come out and play press. It's hard to play the man and still play the ball, and Rodgers places it perfectly.
This one aired out, and Beasley overthrown. Now only 5 seconds remain, and a field goal does nothing. The last time the Cowboys lost a game when they had a 15-point lead was December 15th of 2013. That's when Aaron Rodgers was hurt, and Flynn was the quarterback. It was the Green Bay Packers erasing a 23-point deficit and winning that game. But there is nobody like Aaron Rodgers in this league. The incredible arm, the quick delivery, and the great legs to extend plays and pick up first downs, back-breaking to any defense, and Dallas is using their 2nd timeout.
I tell you think about it, Joe, how great he has been and how great the guy was before him in Brett Favre, and to have that kind of franchise quarterback play for as long as the Packers have is really something. Those Packer fans, really the entire NFL and all the fans of football, have had the privilege to watch these guys play. It's been something.
Well, it's been a privilege to watch the game. 5 4th quarter lead changes. Green Bay would move to 4-1 with the win. Detroit lost at home to Carolina earlier. The Minnesota Vikings, they have a Monday night game coming up at Chicago.
And hey, how about the job that Mike McCarthy has done this year with all the injuries that we've talked about, him and his staff, to get guys out there and still find ways to win games. They got one more play here, but if they're able to pull this off, hold them here, it's a great win.
Lateral time. Elliott throws it back to Prescott. There's a little drama left. Now Butler, they're going backward. Here's Witten. He throws low. Packers have it. Packers win. (35-31). And Mike McCarthy, I'll echo your words a moment ago, a winner. 11 years as head coach of the Green Bay Packers, 9 times in the postseason. He's taken his club to January football 8 straight years. And how about Davante Adams? 10 days ago on Thursday, a terrible hit from Danny Trevathan made everybody watching across the country wince and then pray. Mouth guard out, thumbs up, a night in the hospital, clears concussion protocol. And Davante Adams with 2 touchdowns, 66 yards, and that 7th catch of the game winner. He's tough.
Well, we knew it was going to be a great game, Joe. I mean, it always is, it seems, between these two teams. And I say, this is for Mike McCarthy to find ways to win games and to be 4-1. It sure helps when your quarterback's Aaron Rodgers. This has been spectacular.
He's standing by. Aaron Rodgers with Aaron Andrews.
Well, Mike McCarthy said to me, Aaron, at the half, if we can get our offense on the field, we're going to score. Take me to 3rd and 8. I mean, we've discussed in our chat that you're an athlete. 18-yard run. I mean, what are you thinking?
A lot of two-man coverage in that situation, which means unless they're spying me, nobody's assigned to me. Just felt a gap to my left. I knew if I could get out, probably have a good lane to run. If I couldn't, we'd get the field goal team on and tie it up. Just got out of that tackle, got down the sidelines, gave ourselves a chance to win the game.
And of course, you find Davante Adams again after the rookie got the best of him. Why'd you go to him again?
Well, I love it. You know, I missed him on the first one, threw it too far inside. He comes back and says, come right back to it. So I changed formation on the front side, but I was coming him the whole time. Put in a good spot. He made a great catch, got his feet down.
I feel like you should buy real estate here in Dallas. You seem very comfy here.
They should have a Super Bowl here every year.
Thank you so much.
He was a Super Bowl MVP here, Super Bowl 45. That's his 103rd win as the Green Bay starter. That ties Bart Starr for number 2 on the all-time list. America's Game of the Week will be right back here after this.